now. I can see lots of famous names right up the blue.
Just listening to King of the Hammers working. So, got some patch panels done. Now I gotta do this one. So I gotta bead roll some lines in there to match that, and we'll patch that one in. So the garage is nice and clean. So I just gotta come over here and roll out some tools and get the right. Well, I bead rolled this.
You can see where he dropped that wheel off to the left.
There.
There's not the other guys behind him.
Hammer town.
This is where he's got to cut off the edge of the mountain. Pull it back up and away you go. Yeah, that does look like that was Jason Blackson there. And you can see the difference a few feet.
So it's going to work out pretty good for us. Cut it into shape and weld it in. Alright, well I've done a little sanding and fitting. It's fitting pretty tight. Lines are lining up good, so I'm going to go ahead and weld this in real quick. Alright, that's about as much grinding as I'm going to get done until I pull the bed back off, but that part's done, so what's next? Bed's off the truck again. I had to pull it off real quick just to finalize some of these welds on these mounts. So I'm going to finish grinding these welds I couldn't get to earlier. And fill all these holes in up here because we don't need those for anything anymore. So, alright, well, as you can see, it's all torn apart again. I did not like the on-off switch idea. I kept leaving it on, draining the battery. It was just not going to work for us. So what I did, added a third switch. So every time it goes down, it'll power the boxes on over there, the buck converters. And every time it goes up, it'll power on the buck converters, so we won't have to worry about it ever draining the battery, and this should work fine. So it's getting a little more complicated, but not really. It's actually pretty simple. So, all right. So there it is in all its glory. I'll wire it up. Up, down. Alright, so now that we got that all situated and working good the way we want it, everything's going up and down good, it's time to start on the wood. So I got a piece of white birch here. Don't think this is going to be the final piece of wood, but we do need something as a template at least, and to make sure our heights and everything are going to be good. Thicknesses, we might change the thickness of the wood. So, good reference point. Not too expensive, but so that needs to go here. So I'll take some measurements. I'll probably make a cardboard template to go around the wheel wells for each side. I don't think they're identical, but we'll find out when we make our first template. We'll work our way around. We'll just get this cut out with a jigsaw and fit it in there. We got a long ways to go, but we'll get it going. Just a little quick thing here, and so when I made my template, I made it really tight to my metal, even though I'm going to want like an 1/8 inch gap in between it. I made it tight for now, that way if I screw up my cut a little bit, I'm okay. I'd rather sand it into place and make sure everything's fitting nice the way I want it. in there. It's not fitting yet, which is what I expected because I cut it wide. All right, well, we've been working on this for a minute. We got it all scribed in. What I did is I just set it on here and kind of got it squared up where I felt it was happy. Went underneath, scribed the whole thing with a pencil around the edge, and it's fitting nice now. So we don't have any bolts in it or anything, but let's just see what it does with the weight on it. Doesn't even care. Good start. So now we can move on, get our strips, cut to length, either machined or grind them ourselves, which would be way too hard. I think I'm gonna send them out to the machine shop. And then we'll cut all our all thread we got up here, little whatever length pieces we need. And we'll figure out a pattern to weld them to these. So we'll weld them to the backside, and they'll be bolted through the steel framework with a castle nut on the bottom, or some sort of a nut on the bottom that looks cool. Tell me what you guys think. Give me a thumbs up. So I just set the strips on there for now. See what it's gonna look like, kind of. We are fitting nice. Got a nice gap all the way around. It's looking good. Now we got to figure out our hole pattern, where we're going to drill our holes, and at least get this mounted with a couple bolts temporary to make sure it's going to cycle good and not rub in corners, need any adjusting. So let's go ahead and get that done. Alright, another day in the garage, and I talked to the owner of the truck last night, and he said he would like to have a stainless border. So we got some 3/16 stainless, 1/8 inch. I think it's 3/4 by 3/4. So he wants that to go around the border. So I got this all cut in nice. So now we're just gonna take my handy dandy contraptions. Scribe them in line. I'm trying to keep this from being a 20 series video here, but this bed is taking quite a while. And a lot of fabrication here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get a bunch of work done, and then I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but I've been trying to do time lapse and it keeps shutting itself off. So phone says it has plenty of storage, so I'm gonna keep going here. Whew, covered in salt. All right, so I just wanted to do an update here. I got this all sanded, finished. So we need to make this. It's gonna sit like that. And we need to make it go around this bend. So I'm gonna cut a 36-inch piece and cut a piece out of it and cut a piece out of that. See if we can make it work. All right, we got one all cut and bent in. Gotta fit really tight to that wood, and I've already checked it up against my radius there, and it looks pretty good. So I think before I actually cut the top out though, my phone acting up again. Okay, so what I was saying is I'm gonna go ahead and do the whole radius, the whole thing. Make sure everything clears good before I even cut these out, because I may have to change this a little bit. It might have to be shrunken up, who knows. So I think I'm gonna try and get it right the first time, but you never know. So all right, working our way around. I think it's working. So we're working our way around and we'll continue. All cut in. Pieces, but we're just going to tack all this together, set it back on there to make sure it fits. I did a lot of stuff from my phone, and time-lapse still doesn't seem to be working. See how long this goes. So I got everything tacked in there. I'm gonna go ahead and test fit it and let's get right back to you. Alright, everything's fitting pretty nice. Starting to get my bolt layout. I do need to drill some holes through these and do a little work there, but so far so good. Not bad for first time around. So it looks like I'm only gonna have one issue right here. Getting a little tight here, so we're going to open that up a little. The other side's fine, everything else is fine, it's just that right there. So we'll touch that up a little bit. I got on my layout before I finalize. I got to drill some holes. I've already got these spot drilled, so alright, we went ahead and finished that. Got that all fixed up. And we got some holes drilled here with some just temporary screws. There'll actually be a stud welded in here eventually, just to kind of hold our edges. But our gapping is beautiful. Everything's working. Alright, so we're having some issues here. The more weight I seem to put on this, the more it wants to push back before it goes up, which makes sense. But so what I think I'm going to come up with is a little roller bearing down here. Got this big block of aluminum. I've already machined a step in it using the drill press and mill, which seemed to work okay. I mean, I had a couple of blunders, but not too bad. So we'll finish that off and we'll look something like that. A little on the bearing so it'll push it up kind of on an angle a little bit before it goes back. It won't let it go back. So hopefully this will work. Let's give it a shot. Alright, I think we got this whooped. We got a bunch of weight on it now. It's hard to see, but we still have a nice gap along there. It's not going to hit. And let's see if you can see what I did. So I machined that aluminum block, which still needs to be finished, but you see two ball bearings there. So as this goes up, this has a 5 degree on this side and a 10 degree on that side, and they can switch from either side, but it's working out better with the 5 degree. So as this goes up, it doesn't allow it to push back, but it does have a little bit of an angle, so it does want to go up without any stress or anything. So it seems to be working great right now. Down. Okay, so no binding. Bit of a campfire there, but not too bad, just on the ends. So number 2, let's keep going. doesn't fall apart when I take it apart and try and flip it over right now. Whoa. That's the difference. So we got it all welded up and I put it back on here, and we do have an issue. I thought it was actually shrinking in. It felt like it when I took the measurement, but it spread a little bit on me. So I'm gonna take some clamps probably and kind of tweak this back together a little bit. Otherwise it's fitting good. Just in the middle a little bit. When I welded these, it pulled it that way. So. Easy, Clay.
And a rock! I found this!
Should we get a sled out?
Yeah, we get the slide out.
Okay, I'll go get it. Alright, we're back working on the bed. Got all the welds ground down. Refit it. Looks like everything's working good, so I'm starting to drill my holes here. And I'm just drilling through the wood and kind of pecking the metal underneath to leave a mark. And go ahead and drill all these holes. Pull this off and continue. Alright, I made a little drill jig here to help me drill my holes center and keep them all spaced even. So we're drilling holes. Alright, we got all our holes drilled. Alright, all our holes are drilled now. I drilled them a little bit more bigger than 1/4 inch. Might step them up one more size, but we'll see how it all fits together. So I got this stainless 1/4 inch all through here. And I gotta cut it to about 1 5/8 is what I came up with, lengths. So I'm gonna make a jig so I can just cut. And then I'll take and finish off each one of the ends. It's gonna take a nut, and the other end will get welded to either this framework or stainless strips. So I gotta figure out how many I gotta cut real quick and make a jig up. Hopefully I can get that done by today. Get these started, get some of these cut before the day's over. A little bit of a mess, but we got all our studs cut. I just counted them and we have like 3 extra. So we're lucky we came out with the right amount.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Got them all cut and ground down. Nuts thread on good. So we'll continue on now. Alright, well that's enough for today. Got those all good. Ended up having to go over all these on one end. They weren't all working, so I hit them up on my belt sander and that fixed them all right up. So tomorrow we'll TIG weld all these to this outer frame, make sure that all works again, get that bolted back in, and then we'll start working on our strips. So, see you tomorrow. Well, we only started a couple fires, but got all our studs welded in, bolted down. So now I just gotta grind them all down like this. You can't tell they're there anymore. Alright, so it's a little over a minute per tack. And I got about 60 of them to do. So, let's get working. Alright, well it's Sunday, but I only have 2 of these things left. I want to knock them out. I know it'll only take a couple hours, and we'll get this thing together. And I want to get this video edited. It's been weeks since I put out a video, so let's go ahead and get that going. Get this done, call it a day on this bed, work on the next project. Ooh, running a little low. Threw some fake knots in there with the blowtorch just to spice it up a little bit. Some bolts sticking through there, ready for the lock washer and dome nuts that are coming from McMaster car in the morning. And we'll put her back together. Alright, all the hardware came in. Show you all that. So, cast nuts, lock washers. Bolt it down. This thing weighs a ton, so I'm gonna try and get it on here by myself. So we'll be right back. All right, I managed to wrestle it in there. Now we just gotta test it and make sure it's gonna work. So we might as well do that right now. Oh, I didn't hook up my. Oh, I gotta hook back up now. Alright, things looking good. Went up and down pretty smooth. Bad. Alright, well I think that's enough. Haven't been putting out videos for a while. I'm waiting on a new lens to come to get some wide angle stuff. And been working on a lot of other projects. So finally got this one in the books here. So probably gonna need a little fine tuning, but for the most part she's done. And we can show it off a little bit now. So take it to a couple car shows locally and see what people think. So hope you guys enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Heimlich Hot Rods.